Is it really possible to have hard conversations without everything blowing up? That's what we'll talk about today. Stay tuned. You are enjoying the Step Out and Thrive podcast. Hey, welcome back to the Step Out and Thrive podcast. My name is Bethany B. Joy, and you're finally to the place where you can kick off your sandals or shoes wherever you are in the world and just be yourself. You're in a community of fellow people who love God, love Jesus, and love to take people to Jesus. But at the same time, sometimes we don't always care well for ourselves. My goal here at Step Out and Thrive is to help all of us find real life communities where we can get poured into, but also where we can pour into other people. To have this full cup so that we can always dare to do more than just survive, to step out and thrive in our calling. We're right in the middle of our Roots series, and I've had fun during this series. I know some of these topics have been kind of heavy for some people, but again, it's like showing up to the doctor and going, something's not right somewhere, but I don't know where. And it's for the doctor to okay, have you tried this? Have you done this? Have you done this? So funny story, I'm going to go off because you guys know me. I'm funny story for the week. And I'm not going to show, not show and tell. So just be happy it's not show and tell. So funny story. A couple days ago, I was on the couch and I think my youngest was with me and my guide dog. I know he's not supposed to be on the couch, but we kind of have this one couch that he's allowed on because he needs cuddle time. And our golden doodle's pretty much allowed everywhere. So anyway, you guys didn't need to know that. So, and if my guide dog trainer people are watching, sorry, not sorry. Technically, he's not supposed to be on furniture, but he knows that. He knows he's only allowed to be on this one couch. Anyway, he was on the couch. And he just happened to hit me in a weird spot, and I kind of flinched. And I was like, what is that all about? And so I just kind of sat there, and then he did it again on accident. He wasn't trying to do it on purpose. What in the world? That is really hurting. And so I kind of just it was on my left thigh, I guess you could say, outside thigh. And I was like, why is that so sensitive? So I kind of raised my short leg, my shorts up just a little bit, and to reveal part of my leg. And my boys were their jaws dropped. I was like, uh-oh. I was like, what's happening? And my oldest kid ran and got his phone and took a picture of it. It was this huge bruise. And I was like, oh. And it actually didn't feel bad at all. I just, just rubbing against it at that one perfect spot just kind of made me flinch. But the reason I tell that story, and I'm okay, by the way, and there's a whole reason for that, which I'm not going to go into. I fell playing beep ball, and then I also fell one of the other days. We took the dogs to the dog beach, and so my dog got a little excited. So he's a big boy, so when he wants to go somewhere, he can accidentally knock me down. So it happens, but anyway, I'm okay, everything's good, but I had no idea that I had that huge bruise on there. I say all this because sometimes we don't know what's going on until it gets pushed right in that right spot. And sometimes we need that experience and somebody else to walk that with us to go, oh, I didn't realize how big that was. And I didn't realize how much that was impacting other things. That's what this series is for. It's not always, yay, happy, but it is one of those things that's you can see, wow, I've really grown in that area. And well, these are some other areas that I want to grow more into. And a lot of times we try to do that by ourselves. And it's meant to be done in community. Hence, that's why we're doing this here with Step Out and Thrive. So if you're trying to do this by yourself, don't. I wish that was the easiest answer. Just don't do it. But try the community. Try at least to, come into the podcast area and just see if this is a good place for you to connect and make some connections that way. So with all of that being said, whew, almost forgot. I almost had a moment. I'm what are we talking about today? Anyway, today we are talking about, and I'm going to make sure that I stay on my outline here. Yes, we are talking about how to have conversations, hard conversations, without things blowing up. And here's the thing. When we find ourselves, and I say we because I've done it too, but when we stall having these hard conversations, it actually makes things worse. It brings unneeded stress, not only on our minds, not only on our bodies, but in our relationships as well. And the truth is, when we do hard conversations right and healthy with other people, it's not about winning. It's about strengthening that relationship. It's not about being right. It's about having each party feel seen and understood. You can agree to disagree, but it should make your communication and connection tighter, not further apart. My story about this is really neat, and I got permission from the person to share, and she allows me to share the story a lot, actually, so I appreciate her. I don't share it like everywhere, but I have, because it's such a really cool, I think, example. And to be honest with you, I've heard similar stories, especially in the confessional community world. If you're familiar with that kind of group, a lot of times things happen. And especially when you go deep and you share stories together, yeah, tough conversations happen. And a lot of times in groups like that, you've got people that have walked out hard conversations like that before. And then you've got other people that have seen like the Thanksgiving turkey go flying through the air because Uncle Bob's mad at Aunt Sue and don't know how to actually work out their conversations. So it can get messy, especially in groups of people. But the healthy part of that is when you're in a healthy group with a trained facilitator or facilitators or coaches, it usually is handled in a way that is safe. So even if emotions are brought into the room that are hard, that are heavy, they're welcome there, they're welcome to be explored, but everybody is safe and everybody feels seen and everybody feels heard. Sometimes it takes more than just one session. All of this to say, the story I'm going to share, that I had a group, one of my groups, and I had a member that was kind of just upset and was just ready to leave. She felt like she had enough of the group, and she basically emailed me, which this happens, this just does. This happens with groups. And she was like, hey, I'm kind of done. She was paid in full. She's like, you can keep the funds. I'm just kind of done. And I said, the way we work in our groups, and the way many groups work, actually, is we follow what's called a goodbye liturgy, which means it's a goodbye for everybody. You don't just leave because there's a huge space. You don't just leave without saying that you're goodbye and you're saying what you want to the other members of the group. You leave well. You close out well. So when I mentioned this to her, that I wanted her to come back at least for the goodbye liturgy, she agreed. And what happened is, as we went through the goodbye liturgy, members of the group share, what they long for her. They share how her story has impacted their story. They share how they've seen her change. And as she listened to these words, she realized something, that she wanted to stay. She was actually able to sit with the emotions that she was holding and what was going on and the story that she was telling herself that wasn't true. And instead, she just stayed with our group until it came to a close. I was proud of her for that, because a lot of people, when they go through goodbye liturgies, it's just almost easier to say goodbye at that point, because it is good closure for everyone. So why do I share this story? I share it because sometimes it's hard to have those really hard conversations. For me, it's learning to let go, to let God do what he wants to do. And I've had many hard conversations. I've witnessed being a part of groups, watching members have hard moments with one another. I've also had moments where I've had to go and have conversations with people, and Many people know that I do not like these really difficult conversations, but what's been really interesting is that the more I show up to this work, the more, I wouldn't say comfortable, that's not the word, but the more accepting I am of these hard conversations, because I've gotten to see God work through it in amazing ways if they're handled well. So I want you to walk away with going, is there a hard conversation that you need to have that maybe you've been avoiding? That maybe you're putting yourself under extra stress that you don't need to actually have? Do you even know how to handle hard conversations? These are some questions to just sit with this week. And again, we have the thread on the Step Out and Thrive community and the free community. Every week, the podcast is shared and discussions happen, and we'd love to have you there. All you have to do is go to stepoutandthrive.com and click on the Join the Community link. And another way of getting there is community.stepoutandthrive.com. So you can choose whichever way is easiest for you. Hard conversations have to happen, but you don't have to do it alone. We'd love to walk out that journey with you. But however this moves forward, I want you to really sit with, what conversation do you need to have this week? Dare to do more than just survive. Step out and thrive. See you guys back next week. Bye. Thanks for enjoying today's Step Out and Thrive podcast, the one place that you can always count to dare to do more than just survive, to step out and thrive. As always, for more information, please check out bethanybjoy.com or stepoutandthrive.com.